Hello guys, back at it once again here, Wednesday evening, and as always we do our Uranium midweek update. As always, follow me, YouTube, Twitter, and especially give me that thumbs up and subscription to YouTube. That is highly appreciated if you like what you see and what I do. As mentioned, we're going to be looking into uranium, the ETFs, the ratios, but this time I think we will be looking at it through a different lens. In this case, we will be using moving averages and the Bollinger Bands. Very different than I normally do, but this is actually when I started doing charting the 50, 100, and 200 moving day, the moving average and the Bollinger Band was actually my go-to. And I actually go back and look to get, a different view from time to time. So let's get straight into business here. So a different view without only a few trend lines, but we will use the moving averages to see where we are in time, really. So let's see where we are. Okay. URA, I have to remove this cat here because it's go away. Okay. Moving averages can be good to see where we are on the trend. And go away. You little bastard. So yeah, let's see where we are. Let's look at the current state of the game right here. I want to show you, you have the 50, you have the 100, and you have the 200-day moving average. And what is nice to see is that you can clearly see that right here, we had a trend change. So in November 2020, we had a trend change right here with a big move up and then sideways, bullish consolidation. And now we are confirming it further to the upside. So all moving averages here is turning up, and we are hugging the upper end of the Bollinger Band between the 20-day and the upper Bollinger Band, which very nice uptrend. This is a weekly, by the way. Remember this is the weekly. So we are clearly in a huge uptrend on the weekly. So right now, again, long term, nothing to worry about. All the hard work was done here in that squeeze right there, as you know. And now we're going higher, in my view, until proven otherwise. That is my take. Nothing can change it from here. There's a lot of long-term, short-term momentum, and they are all pointing to the upside. So very nice to see. URNM, again, we have less data, but still we have all the moving averages. The 200 weekly has just been printed here, but still the case is the same. They're all going up. We are hugging the upper wall after we did that breakout there. That was a big one. And in my view, this was the bottom March 2020. First wave, second, and now we're going for the third wave. Again, until proven otherwise, that is my case. We are in a huge weekly uptrend, and nothing can change that as we speak. The daily, the hourly noise, it doesn't matter. URNJ, again, obviously we only have a half a year worth of data, give or take. So in this case, it's not valid. We can go to the daily and we will get a clear picture. And same thing again here. This is the daily, so the 50 and the 100 and the 200 is clearly pointing up. And now we are squeezing up here within the Bollinger Band, and we are blowing to the upside. Very strong uptrend still. And to me, this is pointing to higher prices. We have all the tailwind in our back. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, I want to show you again here. This is actually the XLE against the SPX. And I want to show you the strength of this way of looking at things. So here you have a line across, right? And you have that line right there. So actually, if this is back in 2015, by the way. So if XLE has broken out here against the SPX, that would have been insanely strong, given the fact that instead of the weekly moving average just starting to go down here, they would have turned up. So again, but clearly it didn't, and you can see here the path after that has been down, 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 with a big bottoming signal right here. So this is the first wave in my view, and hopefully we have some sort of squeeze here, and we blow to the upside. Again, this could be an inverted head and shoulders, so keep that in mind still. But if you look at the 200 weekly, which is the red one here, clearly it's trying to bottom out here, right? It takes time. It's 200 weekly, so this is 4 years roughly worth of averages. So again, this takes time, but it seems like it's definitely trying to turn here. But as you can see, it takes a lot of time to turn. So, but still, it is my case that energy will outperform the SPX for this decade. So, so yeah, hopefully we will squeeze into this triangle here, and we will go to the upside. Let's see. We are definitely at the pits now for the possible neckline. So, big moment in time there for that ratio. Actually, I wanted to do it different on that one. Excuse me. There it is. Just gonna add it here to, oh, never mind. Okay, so this is the URNM against the XLE. So we want this one to go up. And clearly, we had the big move here, and then we came in for lower lows and lower highs, and now the ship is turning slowly. You can see here, it's turning slowly. And we are, in fact, as you can see here, getting above all the weekly moving averages, and we are hugging the upper Bollinger Band. Very nice on the weekly, beautiful weekly, strong uptrend. And this is in my view, is a big rounding where we will kiss it up here, you know, within a half a year or so. And yeah, beautiful to have URNM outperform the XLE. So again, you can see here now we're starting to get all the moving averages in our back again on the weekly, pointing to higher highs really in this ratio. So beautiful. Here we have, I want to remove that trend line, but it will come back on once again here. I want to show you how I'm also using this one here. You can still see now we're actually still below most of the moving averages in the ratio URNM against the uranium spot price. You know that trend line there we have been looking at for a long time. So we had the breakout here, the retesting, and now we are just, the Bollinger Bands are right there. So the reason why I say in this case, when and if we get above that breakout high, that is because if we do, we will pierce the Bollinger Band, starting the uptrend, and we will get above all the weekly moving averages, pointing to that if we can take it out, that high there, that the weekly long-term trend lines, moving averages will be below the price. And if it can stay below, it should start to push it up. So that is why that level right there, that level right there is very, very important to get back above. We will again start to hug the upper Bollinger Bands, and we will most likely go higher and higher. That is why it's very important. But we are squeezing here on the weekly. Maybe the daily is a bit different. Maybe not. Let's not go into that rabbit hole. URNM against commodities. Very, very beautiful here. That is the squeeze that we were looking at, and we are now making higher highs again, hugging the upper Bollinger Band, showing that the long-term time frames are in play, are the ones in control. Because if you go to the daily, you can clearly see that we are really overbought here again, but we're keeping going higher and higher. So the weekly, even the monthly, I will say, is definitely in charge here in this ratio. And again, we have this, all the moving averages right here. If we can start to climb, they will start to turn up here, and the price will getting pushed up until proven otherwise. So again, very strong, very, very strong setup here for URNM against the overall commodities. That is exactly what we want to see. We had that squeeze right there. One of the best setups that there is, in my view, it's something that I call a power node. You can use that on all time frames. That is basically, if you have, maybe it's better to, let's just use this example. I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. So when you have the 50, the 100 and 200 moving average, it doesn't matter the time frame, all coming within the Bollinger Band, like this right here. You can see all the moving averages are here, and you have a squeeze, right? That means that either way we break, up or down, would be a trend change or trend setter for a very long period of time on that time frame that you're looking at. And now that we have broken to the upside, all the weekly moving averages will start to come up here again. So this trend here, the break here on the weekly, could actually lead to a 2-year long trend going up, 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 up. So it could be gold, it could be the NASDAQ, whatever. If you see these types of squeezes where you have everything coiled up, that is a very, very strong setup. And maybe some of you know that I use the power node on Twitter. I haven't showed it, but that's actually what I'm looking for. And that is the setup that I used, still using to look at when going long or short for that matter, by using a different technique. Right or wrong, I don't know, but this setup here has helped me a lot over the past 4 years. That's actually my go-to when I need some extra confirmation. So you can take that as you may. This is URNM against Bitcoin. I want to show you again. Right now, you can see the moving averages are just going sideways. So there's no big up or down trend at the moment. However, we can add in some trend lines right here. You have the lower one, and then you have the upper. It's a bit difficult to set, but you could add it somewhere around here. Maybe you have these two, the highs here and the wicks over here. So basically, we will see what happens. Which way do we break? Breaking down here, obviously, that favors Bitcoin against URNM, but hopefully we will touch here and we will start to grind higher. And again, if we can get above the Bollinger Band and really start to gain some air, all these weekly moving averages will start to curl up slowly here and favor URNM heavily against Bitcoin. Also vice versa, if you start to break down here, then they will come like this, and then they'll start to pressure them down here. So not much to see there. However, the URNM against the NASDAQ, very strong actually. You can see how close we are actually to really break out with the URNM against the NASDAQ. And I want to show you this one here. We have the moving averages coming up here, now starting to go sideways. We have the 200 weekly here just getting formed. And again, if we can take out the highs here, that these highs here, if we break those, it should be a very big launch pad, and the weekly moving averages will start to do like this, and you will have heavily outperformance by URNM against the NASDAQ. We can go to the daily to see. Let's remove those beautiful white lines there, and you can see what's happening here. So this one really favors the upside. So URNM to outperform the NASDAQ. You have that triangle there, and you have all the moving averages starting to come up here again. You have the 50 coming here. You have the 20 going sideways. So if we break to the upside, as mentioned, the 200 daily in this case should start to come up here. The 100 should look like this, and then the price will start to get pushed up by the moving averages, or vice versa. The price will actually pull up the moving averages, but still. So yeah, this is actually very intriguing. So I will say this: if this ratio gets above, in convincing manner, getting above 0.0033, heavy outperformance by URNM against the NASDAQ. All right, let's move on. Same setup again here, almost. That was the big squeeze that we broke out of, right? And now again, we are bullish consolidation here. The weekly moving averages are pointing up. Every single one of them, the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 is coming up here, pushing up the price, or is a cushion under the price really. So again, it looks a lot like, again, URNM wants to outperform the SPY here over the long term. We are into the 2021 highs here, right there. So obviously we're getting some sort of pushback here. So let's see how we do. But similarly, we are somewhat squeezing up right here. Again, we have the wind in our back, all the moving averages. This is the daily, by the way. So all the daily long-term moving averages are pointing up. Again, it favors a move to the upside. Again, nothing is certain, but the weekly moving averages and the daily moving averages are pointing to that we are going higher. So that's definitely what I think is coming in this ratio. Alrighty, let's see here. This is the uranium spot price against gold and silver. As you can see here, down here, we have the power node actually right there. We have all the moving averages coiled up very close to the Bollinger Band, and we had a big spike here. And now you can see the moving averages are coming up nicely. Why? I think uranium, at least until proven otherwise right here, the uranium spot price will outperform gold. Again, clear trend. As you can see here, it's coming down, and the ship is turning, and it's going up until proven otherwise. So beautiful. There it is, you know. And also, as you know, we have this neckline right here, which I still think will get tested, but it doesn't matter. We're still way above the 200 and 100 moving average if that happens, and it should be a launch pad to the upside. Same thing again here for our beloved spot price against silver. And really, you can see here that all the weekly moving averages is pointing up, and we are hugging the upper end of the Bollinger Band. So very strong uptrend on the weekly. Same thing for this ratio. I do really believe that we are to, like that, we are to retest, as you know, that golden breakout right here. I do still believe that is going to happen. So let's see. But yeah, a different take again using moving averages, and we can see that URA is clearly in a weekly uptrend, even monthly. URNM, same thing, in a weekly uptrend across the board. All the ratios is pointing to that we are having the tailwind in our back, obviously. So yeah, a different take. Do you like it, or do you want the standard stuff here? I just thought it would be nice to do it differently, because as mentioned, this was the setup that I used 3 years ago until I started to remove all the indicators and using only price action, more or less. But yeah, from time to time I go back and look at this specific setup here on the weekly and the daily to see if there's anything good. One thing I will, just before you go, don't stay here with me, guys. Stay here with me. What I will show you, as I mentioned, when you have the 200, the 150 moving average, in this case the weekly, within the Bollinger Band, the direction either way will be very, very strong. And where are we now? This is the Brazilian ETF. As you can see here, for the first time in a very long time, we have all moving averages coiled up like a spring, and you have the trend line roughly around here. We can clone it, and then we can add it to there, to the high, so we get it. So you can see here, all the moving averages, right, is coiled up here within the Bollinger Bands. So if we start to ride the upper Bollinger Band here, all these moving averages will start to come up, and you have a 2 to 5 year long trend that you could just sit tight and collect 10% dividend. Again, in my honest opinion, this will be one that will be very nicely if we start to break out. And as you can see, we are actually really trying to get things going here again, very close. So getting above the 34 will confirm the uptrend here in my view. So yeah, that is how I am using it, as you can see here. And if we get above, I think we have a 2 to 5 year long trend that you can just sit down, relax, and ride it all out. Again, take it as you may. That's my way of thinking when using this setup here. Long video. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below. Cheers. Bye.